we would get a big grant, bunch of money that goes in the bank, well, they would have to scramble and buy more collateral to collateralize to protect what was over the $250,000. Well, now they don't have to do that. And I was relieved to hear the lady speaking in our Public Funds Investment Act saying that that is really good for the cities, because there's probably, she was talking about when you do bank proposals, you used to get a lot of bank proposals. They don't want cities' money anymore because they have to collateralize it and cover all the money that you have in the bank, and that's a pain for them. But this way, it kind of kills two birds with one stone. They don't have to do that, and our money is earning interest and giving us a good return.
So when you say they sweep the accounts, they move that money into some type of interest-bearing account?
Mm-hmm.
Out of your normal fund?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, but when you look on her
When you look on the bank
statements in the mornings, it says 0.
When I look on the online banking, it tells me my actual balance. And then underneath it, it'll say I have $250,000 in this account available to me. But down below it will be a negative number because they swept that account to 0 overnight. And so the negative number is the money I've spent out of that account during the day for checks or whatever coming in. So that's good because you can see what your balance is and
It's like real time.
and what you use. But when you get your bank statement, so there's an IntraFi statement that I have to get on the IntraFi system to get that statement, and it will show all of our accounts, the balances, the interest earned, and all of that.
If you have, in the morning when you come to work, you have $250,000 in that account, and you need to write a $300,000 check,
They cover it.
how does that get covered? Just they do that automatically? It's all
At the nighttime, when they do their nighttime stuff, they'll put money into the accounts they'll put cash into the accounts that need cash. And then they'll take all the rest of the cash that's not being used at the moment.
and that's supposed to be better.
Somehow the bank's winning.
The banks think it's
I
better.
got 400,000, so that's best mine.
And I'll bet it's all done in the cloud.
Probably.
I'm not nervous a bit.
No.
Wow.
Okay. Anybody, y'all seen your chart, the sales tax is still doing well? Anybody have any questions about that? Any other questions about financial stuff? Okay, thank you. Item number 6, the Board of City Commissioners may discuss and take action on the following agenda items. Discuss and consideration of the Lyric Theater proposal. Which one of you two fine people would like to tackle this deal?
Will be me.
The boss? Okay.
Yeah. Would you like me to stand?
And you're Anna?
I'm Anna. Yeah, so I have prepared a few words to help provide context, if you would like.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for letting us join you this evening, having us on the agenda and looking over our materials. We've provided you with copies of the current draft of the Lyrics business plans, architectural plans, and abridged materials. The information you might care about most for today's conversation is in the abridged materials. This is the shortened version of the business plan. So as you can tell from the materials, we are highly ambitious with what we think the Lyric can be. We believe the arts are a way to invest in our community, our people, and our culture. Eastland has a rich history of community theater and the arts, like Belford's theater players, music lesson scholarships, and the Outdoor Art Museum. We are committed to our community by rebuilding and investing in the culture of Eastland County. In time, we hope this will promote tourism to the area and bolster the local economy. So everyone currently on the board joined in 2022 or 23, with all members of the previous board resigning by the end of 2022. We've waited 2 years before coming to the city to demonstrate that we are a group of dedicated, reliable professionals. It was important that we determine how previous donations and money were spent before asking the city, businesses, or individuals to donate any further funds. We also wanted to show the range and types of programming possible. Art exhibitions, live music, theatrical performances, classes, workshops, and the potential of this programming to promote tourism to the area. So the business and architectural plans cover building and operational phases. So why are we interested in renovating the building? The Lyric Art Center is fortunate to have the incredible space on Lamar Street. In its current state, it is a beautiful and open space with the masonry and plaster walls, showing the rich history of the building. However, it currently is not able to be heated or cooled comfortably year-round, severely limiting the programming we can offer on-site. Carving up the interior spaces would allow us to heat and cool the building more efficiently, but it would also allow multiple events to happen in the building at the same time. As we expand programming, the need for more space has become even more pressing. So we are here this evening to share with you what we've been working on, what we are working towards, and to ask for the city's support and financial assistance. The Lyric Art Center, as a yearly budget item for the city, would considerably help us meet our baseline costs and to continue pushing the Lyric Art Center forward. Okay, that was it. That's all I can hear.
Very good.
Very good. Very professional.
Thank you.
This is the most comprehensive proposal I believe we've ever seen
Yeah, it is.
by far. What is it? Let me find your budget deal. What would you like from the city?
We would like as much money as we could get every month.
I was talking to her.
Listen, I was gonna try to save $2,000 a month, but I also know that we're new to this and we can just keep coming back every year. So I think the chart towards the end of the abridged materials kind of shows us some of the building improvements we want to do this next year. Gary was like, put together $2,000 worth of improvements. And I put together 9,000 very easily. So, this is our first year that we have insurance for the board of directors, for anyone who enters the building. Gary's getting financials out of QuickBooks. So I feel like we've made some really huge, with the board of directors shouldering that financial burden at the same time. So that's my way of not giving you a clear answer.
Well, first of all, you're doing a great thing in what y'all are doing and your plan and the proposals, the engineering, all of this. Your board of directors, you got some heavy hitters on there in the arts world and what you folks are doing. I would recommend, JJ and I have talked about this exactly with his number he came up with, $1,800 a month, which is $21,600 a year. That would be what we've talked about and semi-budgeted, preparing for the Lyric to come. When you did come, we've had that discussion, being prepared for this night. And I would recommend and entertain a motion to that. If that's any other discussion, any other questions y'all have for Gary or Anna?
I just had a question for you. Was this budgeted? I mean, I don't remember it being in budget, but
Yes, it's going to come out of the hotel motel fund,
oh, okay.
like with the other museums and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not part of the regular budget. It's the
The
hotel, motel, like all the rest of them.
Yes, it's not out of our general fund.
We've had all of them. If you'll remember last year, we raised everybody a little bit and kind of got everybody in the $1,800 a month bracket and set aside. We looked through that the Lyric wasn't on there and knew they were coming eventually, so we prepared for that and had that discussion ahead of time.
Very, very impressive.
HV, you have a
It's been a
question?
lot of work.
I know.
I may,
I know that.
I don't hear real good, but are there plans in there possibly for traveling art exhibits? Is that a part of the plan?
I think it is as we expand programming, but there's still so much to do before we get to that level where we can have things travel.
Yeah.
I think right now I'm really interested about bringing in instructors to us who can be teaching classes and workshops that would even draw people from like the DFW app.
Recently, well, not recently, but over the time, I've talked to a lot of some painters, artists, who would come to Eastland if there was an adequate place, safe and secure, that could be included in there, I think.
It's certainly on our list of things to do.
You're the man.
And we have honestly talked about everything. But the reality is we're just taking baby steps. And that's why it took us so long to come here, because we're just taking baby steps and we're making sure that we have all our eggs in the basket.
Well, and we appreciate you putting all this together and coming together with a plan and not just coming and asking.
Well,
We appreciate that.
we're killing two birds with one stone. We have to have all this done in order to start writing grants.
Yeah.
And so this is not anything we didn't need already. And a lot of if you look at the actual business plan, which is half a read thick, I mean, it's driven by insurance companies. We have 40 pages of policies, internal policies to cover, what happens if there's an unruly person in the building or anything. We have to do this.
You start giving bonuses. Okay, you good? Any questions? I will entertain a motion for $1,800 a month, and even make that first payment here in March 2024. You'll pay it here this month, and I guess we pay those normally on the first of the month on a normal basis.
Middle of the month.
Middle.
Middle of the month? Well, this is the middle of the month. That's as middle as you can get.
I so moved.
You
I'll
make,
second the motion.
got a motion from Richard and a second from Shirley to put the Lyric and Hotel Motel tax account and start paying them out of that $1,800 a month starting here in March. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. And I'm voting on those as well, so aye.
And
Motion carries.
are you requiring a monthly report?
Quarterly.
Quarterly
Quarterly.
report, okay. Perfect.
Quarterly, and this, we
I'm scared to get a monthly report.
And we tell everybody this that does receive hotel motel money. It all depends on how well our hotel and motels are doing. If we have to deviate and make some cuts because our hotels, which knock on wood we do not see,
Right.
we have to.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I remember when I was working with the Majestic, there were several times I actually went and talked to the hotels and said, "You guys haven't paid. You need to write us a check." Right?
Need to get better moving.
I did that several times.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Janet, good to see you again.
Really nice.
Okay, item number 2, discussion and consideration to approve resolution 2024-05 to cancel the general election.
Yes, Commissioners. We have a resolution in front of you to cancel just the general election that Mayor Vernon and Commissioner Rosander are on that. These two are running unopposed, and we did a little research, and we do need to cancel that. We do still have the special election. These are two completely different elections. We have the special that for Commissioner Funderburg's seat that we are still doing, but that's really about it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to cancel the upcoming general election for the city of Eastland.
I'll second it.
A motion from Shirley and a second by Richard to cancel the general election, resolution 2024-05. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3, discuss consideration to approve resolution 2024-06, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Eastland, Texas, to enter into an agreement with the State of Texas through the Texas Department of Transportation for the temporary closure of State Highway 6 from Seaman Street to Dixie Street and State Highway 112 from Seaman Street to Halbrine Street once a year on a designated date for activities associated with the Old Rip Parade.
Yes, this is just the resolution that we do every year. That we have 2 parades a year: the Old Rip and
we've
Christmas
already passed,
parade.
what we're doing this year is updating the times.
updating
That's
the
the only
times.
thing that we're changing on it is updating the times.
Yeah.
And then we won't have to do this resolution anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we did that last year, remember? We made it to where we didn't have to do it anymore, but then we updated the times this year.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
I move to pass resolution 2024-06.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion from Richard, a second from Shirley to approve resolution 2024-06 for the street closures and part of the old RIP parade. Now, before we vote on that, what do you mean by we updated the
Which,
time?
so the time listed on there,
You want me to?
oh yeah, go ahead, you're the Chamber of Commerce.
We moved, because we moved the parade, the Rip Fest parade, an hour later. We need to move the time an hour later because we only had it through noon, and that parade starts at 11 now, and getting it over by noon and out of there is a little tricky.
So it's from 9 to 1 instead of 9 to noon.
Right. And the other one is the same, the Christmas parade got to where it's getting to where it's a little longer, so we just went another 30 minutes on that.
And any time that we make changes to this, then it has to come before y'all. If they would have kept it the same, then we would have just rocked along and it would never came before y'all.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 4, discussion and consideration of resolution 2024-07, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Eastland, Texas, to enter into an agreement with the state of Texas through the Texas Department of Transportation for the temporary closure of State Highway 6 from Seaman Street to Dixie Street and State Highway 112 from Seaman Street to Halbrine Street once a year on a designated date for the activities associated with the lighting Christmas parade.
Yes, this just kind of goes right in line with what we just talked about with the old RIP parade.
Okay. And those times are 5:30 to 7:30.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I move that we pass resolution 2024-07.
And I'll second that.
Motion from Richard and a second from Shirley to pass resolution 2024 to close the streets for the Christmas lighted parade. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 5, discuss, consider, approve construction of a new concrete runner at the cemetery.
Yes, in front of you, you have a picture of what's out there now, and that we're going to extend in the new part of the cemetery. We do have, a concrete runner where we do set headstones on that runner. It's time to extend that. I can make a joke, but I'm not. We are running out of room, and we need to extend. Those are very desirable plots for people. We did go out for bids on this, and we only had one bid in return from Mr. Alan Barron. He's the one who's done all the work in the past, and we've been happy with it for $12,870. It'll be 390 feet of header for that. Roma, did I miss anything? Go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say one thing. All of those spaces on that are sold except for 2. So I'm already starting to sell the ones that don't have the header yet, but that's where we need that header.
Good.
So
And the monies for this will come from
The trust.
the trust. Go ahead.
Are you aware, we have a trust, there's
Trust.
a trust.
I thought you said trash. I was going,
Trust that we get paid from every year, some generous man who lived here a long time ago, and I have the whole biography of him, because the first time we got one of these checks, we're like, what in the world? And so I spoke to the attorneys and looked him up and printed it out, and we get money every year from this trust.
cool.
That's great.
Specifically
For
for
the cemetery.
That's great.
How many lots does that allow for? The 390 feet? Do you know?
almost 25, 30
Oh,
lots.
that's good, yeah.
Yeah. Starts at 255 and ends at 271.
buy
So,
some.
yeah.
And there's how many?
There's 2 people or 2 spaces
Per
per
lot.
lot.
Okay. You entertain a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the construction of the new concrete runner at the cemetery
Second.
for the amount of
$12,800.
$12,870.06. Is that right, or is that?
I think that's a zero. It's zero.
It's around.
It's a zero on it. Got a motion from Shirley, and Richard, you've already made a second for that, for $12,870 to install 390 feet of header at the cemetery. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item number 6, discussion and consideration of second reading of ordinance 20-899, an ordinance of the city of Eastland, Texas, temporarily reducing the speed limit for portion of Interstate 20 within the city limits of the city of Eastland, which will be under construction.
Yes, this is just the second reading of that ordinance that TxDOT asked us to pass. And from talking to my colleagues, this is a new thing with TxDOT this year. We really don't know what would happen if we said, no, you're not going to reduce the speed limit in our town. So, guess is as good as mine, but basically it's from city limit to city limit. They don't know exactly when they're going to start the construction.
You probably see a lot of patrol cars on 112 and Highway 6 in town all of a sudden.
Is this a
Looking for city
continuation of
vehicles.
what's going on?
Not up City
Like
Street,
down,
but
around, going to Abilene?
So this
it the
is
same?
Yeah, they're working their way backwards for some reason, and then I can't remember how far they're going back east, and then once they finish there, then they're jumping on the other side of Abilene and going towards Merkel.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Traffic is awful.
And we don't have to do anything to, when this is all finished. to
No, this
put it
was up
back.
to them.
This is just letting them.
Yes.
I move
Okay.
that we approve the second reading of ordinance 24-899.
And I'll second that.
Motion from Richard and a second from Shirley to approve ordinance 24-899 to allow the Texas Department of Transportation to change the speed limit on city portion of the Interstate 20. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Number 7, discussion and consideration purchase of police vehicle with ARPA funds.
Chief Pitts?
Yes, sir. We're requesting, last year we were approved for an extra officer, which we were going to use an older vehicle to supplement that for a while, but we also incurred an extra SRO. So now I'm an officer ahead of what vehicles I have, so I'm the vehicle down, and we're fixing to be fully staffed. So we're needing that vehicle to have for our new officer that's coming on board. So because I sent that vehicle that was on the road to the school for the new SRO spot.
Okay. Tell me about a Dodge Durango.
Well, we wanted Tahoes, that's what we were going to do, but right now they're a year and a half out, and that's just getting on the list. There's no guarantee you're going to get them. I've looked at the Dodge Durangos, DPSs went to them, I went and sit in it. It's about the same space as the Ford Explorer, a little cheaper price point, but they're available right now. There's a lot of departments that are going to them, and supposedly they're a good police vehicle, so we wanted to give it a try and see.
And it's going to have a Hemi in it
Yes, sir.
and a Durango.
Yes, sir.
It weighs
Under glass.
112 pounds.
All-wheel drive Durango.
Wow. I'll be glad to see that chick police pursuit one of these days. Okay, so which one of these little darlings are you? You've got 3.
We are asking for the top one, which is the
top
lowest price one that hits out of Grapevine.
Okay.
The car itself is $45,395, and by the time we have it upfitted and get everything ready, it'll total out at $70,395.
Yes,
Okay, so this pricing information that's on the back of this, the Defender supply,
yes, sir.
all of this on here is what we put on that vehicle? Is that what I understand?
Pretty
you
much
said?
every bit of it, yes, sir.
Wow.
And that's standard on every vehicle we have.
And that's the upfit cost here of $25,000?
Yes, sir.
That's what it costs to fit it
What
with
it costs to fit a police
Wow.
car, yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we're going for $70,000. The grant is what? ARPA funds?
ARPA funds, yes.
All ARPA funds. Okay.
And we've checked with our grant manager down there, and this is a allowable expense on this, and she said we're good to go.
How much does the grant cover?
It will cover every bit of it.
Every bit of it?
Yes.
Wow.
Your turn, Shirley.
Huh?
Your turn.
We'll entertain a motion to
I will make a motion, to approve the purchase of the police vehicle as discussed.
Second.
A motion from Shirley and a second from Richard to buy the police vehicle from Grapevine Dodge. It is a total of $70,395 fully equipped. Do you have any idea how long it'll take to get that vehicle?
We should have a vehicle this week, and we're supposed to get all the parts in, so we're thinking 3 weeks to get it out, hopefully.
Okay. All right. You got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much. City manager's briefing. Where's Chief Williamson?
Sam's here.
Sam's here.
Oh, Sam's here.
I miss Sam. I saw him coming.
You count.
Yeah. Really, the major thing I have in this report, as y'all seen if you've driven out past over the bridge by the football field, is they had begun the clean out part of the North Fork. It looks good. And that's really about where we're at on that. They're working on cost and quantity estimates for the second phase, which is the streets, water flumes in the city. The final report for the H&H study has been filed. We actually extended that. There's some engineers and the Texas Water Development Board going back and forth on some formatting issues, so that project was slated to close this month, and they just didn't feel that they were going to meet that deadline, so we extended that. Lights are going up out at Main Street and 20.
They're up.
It's going to be a lot better and a lot safer out there, I think, with people crossing and stuff like that. I don't know how
We
to.
have to put some signs though, because I drove just to look at lunch, and it's like, oh, whoa, there it is, right there. You know, it's like, uh-oh.
Be a policeman out there to point you in the right direction.
That's really about I have, and Leslie and I completed public investment training this last week, so we're good for 2 more years.
2 more years.
On that before we have to go back again.
That was Leslie's 10th.
That was
Right.
Leslie's 10th time to take the training.
You ought to know it by heart.
What's this?
I'm telling you,
sweet?
no.
Where is it?
That's what I'm saying. They're finishing up the final stages of it. They're doing costs and quantity estimates right now.
Are they going to tell us that there's a X amount of dollars available to do this?
Yes, they're costing the whole project as it was initially written right now. What it was, we got to remember these costs. Initial costs were done
4 years ago?
4
ago.
or 5 years ago. So we're seeing, and then we're on the buyout part. We were going to take what we had left over there and throw it into the water flumes.
Will we have the final say in what streets go
We're
where?
supposed to, yes.
Okay. Or at least have a major input.
Yes.
Any other questions for JJ?
Nope.
Okay, code enforcement.
Commissioners opened up February with 5 cases. Terry opened 9 new ones, closed 8. I left us with a total of 6. 15 total violations were open and 15 were closed. Had 2 properties reported for back taxes. During February, that's when we were starting to get our hands on training with the new software. We are on the new software is live for permitting and inspections right now. Terry has started to work with the code enforcement side, but he found that the letters that are supposed to be auto-generating as he starts these are not working. So he's been going back and forth with Encode to try to get this resolved so he can actually use that for code enforcement. Right now he is working using Comcate while he's waiting for Encode to come back with, hey, we've got them in there now, go ahead and start working. But he's familiar to rise himself with the whole new system on how to enter them, and has been playing with entering like property owners and stuff like that. So we have them whenever we have to do it with our normal favorites. permitting is really nice. I'm hoping that here in a couple months I can give you a report of since we started to just see how that reporting software works. Michelle has familiarized herself with entering the different types of permits that we get. The only problems that we're finding is some of the permits you could tell that they were made on a template, and when they were making the template for one thing, they didn't change everything for the next one. So all of our plumbing permits, even though we say that they're plumbing and what they're doing on it, for some reason it says manufactured home. So we're waiting for Encode to fix that. We've been deleting that off of there, but we were able to give the brand new permits that have, it's not only your permit, but it also has you as your receipt. So you can see how much you paid for it, and that's what they hang up in the window if they're doing work, so somebody can see that they've got their permit. So we're very happy with how the permitting side is progressing. It's not perfect with us yet, but it does a lot more as far as recording it, because prior we didn't have anything to record permits on. We just had an Excel spreadsheet. And if somebody forgot to go in and put it in after the fact, we would lose information. But now with this new software, it's able to take care of what we're doing. So just as soon as we can get Encode to come back with the fixes for code enforcement, we're going to be very happy, I think, with this new software. The updates I was going to have for you this month, there was a problem with notification. Notification times for anything that involves planning and zoning. We were told, we understood prior that it was supposed to be 10 days notice, and we found out it was 16.
I can't hear.
So when we got the notice for the paper, it was not going to have enough time for proper notification. So we're going to bump it to next month for the duplex issue and the update to the fence ordinance. So we'll bring it before you guys to peruse and see what you think about it.
Okay, good deal.
I've lost both hearing aids, guys. I can't hear without them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very
Can I
good.
learn you mine here?
Anything else?
Pardon me, that's weird.
Anything else for Tony? I don't know when a good time to ask Roma this question, but how is your software for the cemetery going?
Well, so it's good. I'm having to clean up the current database before they can do a lot of their stuff.
It's 6:30.
In other words, our current database has, so one plot has 8 spaces. Well, when one family bought 8 spaces, they listed A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H all on one line. They didn't separate each plot. All right, they didn't separate each space. So I'm having to go in there and separate every single.
Okay.
And that's a lot of work. I will be doing a lot of that when I'm laid up next month.
Okay.
But, so for now, it's waiting on me, and I can only do what I can do. So.
Okay. All right.
I think we should note that there's no longer a quorum here, so.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll note that there's no longer a quorum here. Richard had to leave. He can't hear, and I don't know. We could have told him what to do. But it's no longer for the record, and for the deal, there's no longer a quorum here. We're through voting on stuff. We'll just be in session for another month.
There we go.
I've never encountered that.
If any of y'all want to stay, go ahead. Anyway, that's fine. We're not voting on anything else. All the things we voted on, so I don't see a problem with that. So we'll continue
It'll just be an
on.
open meeting, I guess, with
It's an open
general discussion.
meeting. Okay. The police department.
Yes, sir. For February's numbers, the police department answered 274 calls for service. We arrested 12 people. We took 42 case reports. We did 13 agency assists, 650 business checks. We worked 7 crashes, 15 domestic violence cases. We filed 15 cases with the district attorney's office, 0 juveniles in February. As far as traffic enforcement goes, we wrote 223 citations, 220 warnings for a total of 443 contacts. On the animal control side of things, we issued 17 citations, 2 warnings, 52 calls for service. She had 16 impounds, 4 were adopted, and 1 quarantined. Also, we have put Officer Austin Rose on the road. He's graduated, so he is out on the road now. He is training. We also hired a guy named T.W. Youngs, who comes with us with about 15 years experience. He's being trained and he'll be out on the road. So we are 1 officer short of being full for the first time since I've been here as chief. So we're excited about that. And then we've got a kid that's in the academy right now. We're looking to put him on in June and be full for the first time. So we're excited about that.
Good. Congratulations. That'd be good. Any questions for Chief Pitt? Before I turn this over to Deputy Chief Sam Williams, I have in front of me, I'm going to bring this up and bring it up again, so be sure we do this again when he's here. But Joe Williamson has received a degree, Bachelor of Science in Fire Administration, and I want to congratulate him. You can tell him we brought it up tonight, and we'll do that again. But I think that's pretty neat. He continues his education. He's probably one of the most trained firefighters we've got in this business, and a lot of certifications, a lot of training, and he's continuing to improve and make himself better, which is going to make us better. And we appreciate him doing that. Sam, and you can deliver that message, and we'll make sure that gets put back in there for next month when he is here. And we can tell him personally, but we appreciate that. So, Deputy Chief Sam Williams, what you got?
For our report for February, had a total call volume of 58 calls. That keeps us on running at about 2 calls a day. Have a total of 337 incidents for the fiscal year. On track to be, we had 870 fiscal year 2023, so we're on track to hit somewhere near that. We had 40 of those incidents were in the city limits, 14 in the county, and 4 mutual aid calls. Didn't install any smoke detectors this month. And then we had 14 of those calls, so I think that's a little over 20% within the hours of 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. Had 5 structure fires. 4 of those would have been mutual aid and 1 in the county. Had 1 grass fire in February and 1 vehicle fire. We assisted the ambulance service 25 times and ran 5 motor vehicle accidents and 8 public assists. We had 3 alarm investigations. Got 1 new volunteer member. I think we actually voted in 2. But anyway, we have currently a total of 25 volunteers and 4 paid staff for 29 personnel.
Okay.
That's about it.
I was looking at your September 3rd trying to decide what that actually is supposed to be.
I don't know what it means either, honestly.
Well, that's a 3/ and it put a date in there. That's what it did. I can't imagine it being 9 on there, so whatever that's supposed to be, if y'all get that figured out.
Yes, sir.
All right, Sam, any other questions for Sam?
Don't have any.
Okay. Municipal report, we've got that one, and meeting adjourned. Don't need to vote. It's over. That's it.